السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله والسلام عليه تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. Allah Ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran, وَقَدْ كَانَ الْإِنسَانُ أَكْثَرَ شَيْءٍ جَدَلًا. Verily, mankind, more than anything else, is extremely argumentative. Mankind here, al-insan, is talking about everybody in this masjid. The nature of each and every one of us is that we are argumentative people. Some people initiate arguments, and other people, they have reciprocity in the issue. Some people are prolific in it. Some people, they normally may not be about it, but when it comes their way, in his fitra, he's going to argue. She's going to argue. Mankind will argue with Allah. He'll argue with the prophets and the messengers. Salawatullahi wassalamu alayhim ajma'in. Why did Allah choose Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam as opposed to this other person from Quraysh? Why did Allah choose Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as the Yahud used to have problems with what Allah Ta'ala decreed and decided, even with their own prophet? What color cow is it? That's the nature of the situation. This ayat of the Quran helps us to understand ourselves. This khutbah, this topic is about everybody here, but more people, some of us more than others, but everybody here is argumentative. From the ayat of the Quran are many that Allah explains to us so that we can understand ourselves to better worship Him, how we are. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبِدٍ. Verily, we created all mankind, everybody, and everyone is going to struggle. Everyone is going to toil. No one here throughout the course of your life are you going to have an easy way. You're going to have ups and downs. People are going to die. You're going to get sick. You're going to be happy. You're going to be sad. You're going to have to deal with things. That's the nature of Bani Adam. وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Verily, mankind has been created weak. He can't get up for Fajr. She doesn't want to wear hijab. He gets old. He gets sick. He's not the way that he was when he was younger. The person is born and he's created and he's weak. And the strongest person in this masjid, intellectually or physically, he's still weak. It's his nature. From those proofs that show us who we are, and that's a ni'mah that Allah has helped us to know who we are. If you know who you are, then it's easier to understand who your Lord is. You know who your Lord is, it's easy to understand who you are. Kullu mawludin yuladu ala al-fitra. Every single child is born on a natural disposition to say La ilaha illallah and to worship Allah. That's his nature. Every single human being. Many ayat, many ahadith. The Prophet told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, al-mar'a khuliqat min dil'in. The woman has been created from the rib. And in that woman's creation, your wife, your sister, my sister, your mother, my mother, your aunt, my aunt. Every woman in this masjid, every woman in this dunya, Muslimah, non-Muslimah, the woman has been created from the rib. She's crooked. And if you go to straighten her out, you're going to break her. And her crookedness is her nature. If you go to straighten her out, you're going to break her. And breaking her is to divorce her. Now, there's the Muslim woman, or other than the Muslim woman, looks at this hadith, and instead of understanding it the correct way, she says, oh, I'm a feminist. Does this hadith mean that I am inherently wrong? Something's wrong with me? No. The hadith is saying that this is how Allah created our mother, Hawa. That's just how it is. My biological mother. But she wants to argue. She wants to argue about the point and argue with Allah. So we go back to the ayat. وَقَدْ كَانَ الْإِنسَانُ أَكْثَرَ شَيْءٍ جَدَلًا. Mankind, more than anything else, he's going to argue. And naturally, the argumentation that we partake in is going to be with those people who we have ihtikak with. Those people who you mix with. You're going to argue with them. The mother will argue with the father with the daughter. The siblings will argue amongst themselves. Some of the people in this masjid, we have children who get along with each other. They show love and affection. The brother loves his little sister. The big sister loves the little brother. And they kiss and they hug and they look out. Some of us, our children are like enemies one to another. They bicker and they argue and they have civil rivalries in everything, as if they're enemies. And then when they go out and they meet their friends, and their friends can even be kuffar. They get along with their friends. But when they come home, as soon as they get in the house, they're arguing. Who's going to use the laptop? Who's going to do this first? Who's going to sit here? Who's going to do that? So we're going to argue with those who are close to us. There was a lady during the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Her name was Khawla bintu Tha'laba. She was married to a man by the name of Aus. This man from the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, used to have a serious anger issue. And he was quick to become angry, like my father was, like your father was, like I am, like you are, quick to become angry. And you say and do things that you don't mean. He was like that. And his wife was a good lady, but he was a man who was quick to get angry. He said to his wife in a state of anger, without meaning it, you are like the back of my mother. You to me are like my mother, which is something that the kuffar of Quraysh used to say in Jahiliyyah. If he wanted to divorce his wife, he would say, you are like my mother. I can't marry my mother, so you're divorced. So when he said this word to his wife, she became nervous and upset. She loves her husband. Am I divorced? Am I not divorced? She went to the Prophet to tell him and to complain. Allah revealed a surah of the Quran called Al-Mujadilah. There was a surah in that book called the argumentation. Al-Mujadilah, the argumentation, the argument that transpired between him and her. قد سمع الله قول التي تجادلك في زوجها ويشتكي إلى الله والله يسمع تحاوركما Inna Allah sami'un basir. Verily Allah, Ya Muhammad, he hears and he heard the argumentation that transpired between this man and this woman. This man who became angry with his wife and argued with her and said, you're divorced. Like some of us, you argue with your wife and her kalam, her situation, gets into your central nervous system. You start to curse her mother and her father. She'll curse you, curse your mother, your father. The mother will argue with the child because she's sick and tired of that kid always giving her lip and giving her kalam. Who are you to argue with your mother? Who are you? And the mother says, I regret the day I gave birth to you. I wish you would have died. I wish you will die. So because they're close, we're going to argue. In this masjid, we're going to argue. We're going to argue with each other. And the better and stronger person's deen is, the less argumentation he's going to partake in. The weaker his deen is, the more his or her argumentation is going to be. There are some people who are very prolific and they're very good and they're experts in argumentation. They will gaslight you. They will argue with the wife and he's dead wrong. He's wrong. He tells her a lie. She catches him in a lie. And then he argues with her and he knows he's lying. Or she knows that she's lying. She took the money. But when they start arguing, she holds her position. And she's arguing. Prolific. Allah mentioned in the Quran and a number of ayat, but one I want to bring to your attention. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يُعْجِبَكَ قَوْلُهُ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَيُشْهِدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا فِي قَلْبِهِ وَهُوَ أَلَدُّ الْخِصَامِ وَإِذَا تَوَلَّى سَعَى فِي الْأَرْضِ لِيُفْسِدَ فِيهَا وَيُهْلِكَ الْحَرْثَ وَالنَّسْلَ. Listen to this ayat and go back and read this ayat. This ayat was revealed way back then, but wallahi billahi tallahi, Benjamin Netanyahu, this ayat fits him. Those spokespeople for Zionism and the Zionist state of Israel and what's going on, this ayat benefits them, but it also is appropriate for some of us. Ya Muhammad, from the people, or those people who, when they speak, their speech impresses you. And they call Allah to bear witness about what's in their heart and their sincerity. Wallahi, wallahi, wallahi. Netanyahu used to say years ago, Iran, they have the bomb. They're going to get us. Iran in 2 weeks, they're going to get us. Iran in 1 month. And he said that for 12, 13, 14 years. And he says that kalam at the United Nations to the whole world. To the whole world. And then we still don't find Iran doing anything. They cause Allah to bear witness what is in their hearts. And whenever they finish talking and they turn to go, they go in the earth and they spread fasad. And they destroy people's lives. And they destroy the places where people live. You young brothers, listen to what I'm about to tell you as well. We as Muslims, we got to get in where we fit in with what's going on in this dunya today. I am an individual who is not living with my head in that sand. There are real issues and challenges. How are we going to go to school? How are we going to go to university? How are we going to get homes? How are we going to get cars? How are we going to move forward? There are spaces we have to occupy as Muslims. What about the Muslim youngster, boy or girl? They want to be a lawyer. They want to be a lawyer. They want to be a solicitor. This ayat will apply to you. If you're a person, you're an individual, you want to argue the case of people you know they're lying. You know you're taking someone's rights. So if you want to be a solicitor, they make money, but you need to consider what kind of lawyer do you want to be? You want to be the lawyer to the rich? They can do anything and everything and hire you, and no matter what the case is saying, you're going to take the case and you're going to argue on behalf of destroying people's lives, children, innocent people, people who've been raped, people who've been beat, harmed. No. As a Muslim, we have a moral compass and we have to be ethical. We have to be people who have morality. Listen to the hadith of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam concerning that ayah. He's extremely, extremely argumentative. Aladul Khisam, extremely argumentative. Bring your minds back for a minute away from Benjamin Netanyahu and the spokeswomen and men for the Israeli state who get on TV and lie out of the side of their mouths, on the side of their necks. They're lying. Hamas, Hamas, Hamas. You done killed all of these people, and you're telling me that this is a result of October 7th? You've been doing this for 75 years. You're a kadab. You're a kadab. Bring your mind back. Bring your mind away from that. Bring it back. He lies, and he's an expert. That's the husband lying to his wife, and his personality is strong. So he gaslights her, and he tries to make her feel and think she's the problem. The child tries to make the parents feel you're the problem. The boss at the job tries to make his workers, you're the problem. This ayat applies to you. The Nabi qala sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, inna abghad al-rijal ila Allah ta'ala al-aladul khasam. The one who is the most detestable person, the one who Allah hates the most, is the one who is extremely argumentative. He's always arguing. He can't stop arguing. She can't stop arguing. Him and his wife, that's all they do is argue. Every 3 days, an argument in front of the kids. In front of the kids. So the one who Allah hates the most and finds detestable is the one who is argumentative. Why? Many reasons. Ayatul Munafiq Thalathi says sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وفي رواية أربع من كن فيه كان منافق خالصا. The ayat and the sign of a hypocrite. The hypocrite. 3. Another hadith he said 4. And the one that says 4, he said anyone who has all 4 of these characteristics is a true hypocrite. Whoever has one of them has a khasla of hypocrisy. What's the one we want to deal with? إِذَا خَاصَمَ فَجَرَ. The ayat of the munafiq is if he argues, he becomes a person who does fajur. He goes overboard. He's arguing and he starts to call you out of your name. He argues and he starts effing and jeffing and he starts swearing and cursing. If he argues with you, he starts saying about your niyah, your qasd. You said this because of that. You did that to put me down. You did that. And the person said, la wallahi. But they insist you did that because you don't know what's in the person's heart. Whether what they did was right or wrong, they're telling you I didn't do it because of that. That's fajur. You don't know why they did it. They go overboard. They go overboard. Listen to me, and this is important. This is important, Ummatul Islam, because as I said, as I stand right here on this minbar in front of your eyes, all of you better know that I argue. I argue. Sometimes I argue for what is wrong, just based on where I come from, my upbringing, the environment. You step on my feet, intentionally or unintentionally, there may be a problem. I have to be old enough and more responsible, more disciplined not to do that. Not only am I 63, 64, not only am I dressed like this, not only am I the imam of the masjid, not only do I claim that I love Allah and His messenger, I can't go to Publix and someone bumps me with their cart in the back of my heel. And I'm ready to go off, especially if I got gout. Especially if I got gout. I don't care if you did it intentionally or not. Old lady, white lady, I don't care. You hit me in my leg. You did that intentionally. No, we have to be people who disengage because Allah doesn't love that type of character. It's not nice. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him. Listen to who I said. Abu Hurairah, not the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said to the people, and we have to consider this because it is how we are. He said, may Allah be pleased with him. أحدكم يبصر القذات في عين أخيه وينسى الجذع في عين نفسه. He said, verily, you people, You are people who you will see a small splinter in your brother's eye. You see a mistake that your brother's making, but in reality, that mistake is a small splinter. You do like this and you get a little piece of wood. It's a small splinter, but you forget about the big log that's in your eye. You shouldn't even be able to see his splinter because you got a big log that's telling you, pay attention to your own self. Pay attention. And unfortunately, the splinter that we see is in the eye of the wife. It's in the eye of the mother. And you yourself, you don't pray. The child doesn't pray. The child does no productivity. The child is on the minhaj of me, myself, and I. Me, 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 me. We can't be like that. This is real talk. The brother used another man's thobe in Mecca while making Umrah. He needed a man's thobe. Asked him for the thobe. Let him use the thobe. The brother who borrowed the white thobe put a pen in the pocket. Somehow, for some reason, the pen started to leak. He saw it, and there was a little bit of ink here. That brother who gave him the thobe, his thobe to borrow, he went off. The thobe was in a manner. Why did you do this to the thobe? The ayat of the munafiq, he messes up the amana. Look at my thobe, look, and he goes off. You don't take care of people's stuff. Look at, you see the splinter? Because the one who borrowed his thing says to him, yeah, I didn't mean to do that, it was a mistake. What about the $3,000 you've been owing me for 2 years? $3,000 you've been owing me all of this time. And you're gonna make that deal like that? And that's our situation, especially these young kids with their mother. They see their mother did something they don't like. She washed the jersey, washed something, the kit, something, the messy jersey. The mother put bleach in there, got messed up, and the kid has a fit over the messy jersey. Yep, his mother made a mistake, but so did his mother give birth to him. And us as husbands, the same way. The wife burnt the rice. The wife did something. She did something. I don't like it. And I go off. A splinter in her eyes. What did I do? She gave you 3 babies, gave you 2 babies. She gave you this, she gave you that. When you were nothing, she was there for you. Don't be of those people. Brothers and sisters in Islam, look at yourself. If you're a person who argues, you need to understand, arguing is destructive. It will destroy the marriage. Who wants to be with a woman who's always arguing? And which woman wants to be with a man who's always arguing? You will kill the other person's spirit with that argumentation. The kids watching that, the boy will grow up learning that, your daughter will grow up learning that. When they get married, they're in a dysfunctional marriage. Why? Because that's what their parents taught them. The brother and the sister, the siblings, they argue. You destroy that bond of brotherhood. It's destructive. Arguing is destructive in the deen. Do you not see? When we're fasting in the month of Ramadan or other than the month of Ramadan, our Nabi al-Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, if someone acts ignorantly towards you while you're fasting and they want to argue with you, they want to have trouble with you, they want to argue, you should say to that person, I'm fasting. I'm fasting. Because arguing will destroy your fast, your deen. Do you not see when you perform Hajj? Allah revealed the ayah in the Quran, فَمَنْ فَرِدَ فِيهِنَّ الْحَجِّ فَلَا رَفَثْ وَلَا فَسُوقْ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. If you want to perform Hajj, then don't act crazy and ignorantly. And don't be a person who's talking about women and sex. And do not argue. Hajj is tough. I tell you no lie. Hajj is jihad. Walking from here to there, not sleeping, being tired, not eating. It's tough. But one of the toughest challenges of Hajj is not arguing with people. People in your hamla, your tent. Your tent. Do you know that people argue because he snores too loud? He snores too loud. And every day, every morning, waking up, people were in his room getting on him, and you snore too loud. We got to get another room for you. They're arguing. People you don't know, they bump into you. What you bump into me for? My environment, where I come from. Don't bump into me in Mecca or Medina. Don't bump into me. Argumentation will jam your deen up. I want to draw your attention to the greatest human being on the face of the earth who walked down the earth after the prophets and the messengers. Salawatullahi wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. And it's none other than Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, was sitting with the Nabi of Rahmah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Another Muslim came and he started arguing with Abu Bakr. Not only was he arguing, he was making a shatam and sub, calling him out of his names, being rough and tough. And Abu Bakr took the high road. He was quiet. He was disciplined. He was just looking at the man and the Prophet as well, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then Abu Bakr got tired of the man talking to him like that, and he made intisar. Al-intisar al-nafs is when you defend yourself. But the question is, how do you defend yourself? Abu Bakr was quiet. He was patient. The man wouldn't stop. Abu Bakr started to say back stuff. When he did that, the Nabi got up, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and left. When Abu Bakr saw that, he had enough wherewithal. He had enough. He wasn't tone deaf. He had enough. Man, I ain't got time for you. Prophet Muhammad was sitting here, now he left. That's what's important to me now. And he left that man. When he went to me, he said, Ya Rasulullah, hal wajadta alayya shay'a? Did I do something wrong? Do something wrong? He said, Abu Bakr, when that man was saying what he was saying to you, I remained silent because Allah sent an angel down from the sky for you. And that angel, every time that man says something, the angel can yukadhibuhu laka. He was saying, you're lying. That's not true. You're lying. That's not. I asked you a question right here. Did Allah ever send an angel down from the sky for anyone here that you know of? Did Allah send an angel down for you or you for something that you needed? Maybe he did, but you don't know about it. An angel came down in defense of Abu Bakr. He said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but Abu Bakr, when you tried to defend yourself, a shaitan came. The shaitan came. The angel didn't go back up. The angel was still there. He said, the shaitan came. وَلَمْ أَكُنْ لِأَجْلِسْ إِذَا وَقَعَ الشَّيْطَانِ. And I wasn't going to sit there while the devil came. That's Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, the greatest human being after the prophets and the messengers. And he was described like that, his situation. And then I'm going to leave this place. Akhi Nazir, I'm going to leave this place. And I'm going to say, everybody's against me. All of you against me. I'm just mentioning your name as an example. Everybody's against me. I'm always right. That's Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Slow down and pump your brakes and relax and humble yourself. Argumentation is destructive in the community. Arguing all the time. Arguing in your house. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ونسأل الله تعالى الثبات والتوفيق. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلوات الله وسلامه على النبي الأمين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. You young brothers and sisters in this masjid, stop being argumentative, especially towards your mother, especially towards your mothers. Stop being argumentative towards your fathers. Don't be argumentative towards your mother, your mother, your mother. And don't argue with your father. Be patient. Take the high road, even if they did or said something that you don't like. They have a splinter in their eyes because by Allah's permission, they gave you life. Stop arguing with your siblings and being nice to your friends, your classmates, and kuffar. Stop being like that. And the rest of the community members, sister, the married lady, stop being argumentative. Your husband has more rights on you than anybody else in your life, including your mother and your father. Your husband, Yawmul Qiyamah. Your husband, he has a great position. And us, the husbands, usually not all the time, from the nature of the man, the way that Allah has created him, the man is stronger. The man is stronger. Allah said that the woman in her khasm is ghayru mubin. When she argues, she doesn't make sense. That's an ayat of the Quran in Surah Al-Mujadilah. When she argues, she sometimes doesn't make sense. It's emotions. But the man is working with a lot. He's working with aql, personality, shakhsiyah, and he's working with strength. Gaslighting her. We have to take the high road like the Quran has suggested. Those people who are the real Muslims, the real people of taqwa, the real people of al-Iman, the real people of al-Tawheed, وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمَ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. Allah's servants, the real Muslims, the real men, are those people who, when ignorant people talk and they address them with ignorance, they say, I'm out, peace. I ain't got time for this. I'm not arguing with you. I have to build a business. I have to build a community. I have to raise my children. I'm not getting stuck on stupid with you, arguing with you. Idfa billati hiya ahsan. Push back the argumentation, Allah said, with what is better. And what's better is usually suspend argument. وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِاللَّغْوِ مَرُّوا كِرَامًا. Those people who worship Allah correctly, when they pass by vain speech, argumentation for the sake of argument, you just want to argue with me. The Sheikh Funan Ali al-Halabi is an innovator. He's an innovator. No, he's not. He's an innovator. No, and we're going to argue over that? Go ahead, man. Fakana mother. Go live your life. Nobody has time for that in reality. The last thing I end this khutbah with is something that the Prophet told all of us, inshallah, as an encouragement. Hear this hadith. Comprehend the hadith. Practice this hadith. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم نبي الرحمة أنا زعيم ببيت في ربد الجنة لمن ترك المراء وإن كان محقا. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, I will be the guarantor. I guarantee you'll get in Jannah, inshallah. I guarantee you will be on the outskirts of Al-Jannah. You will be in Al-Jannah if you avoid and give up argumentation, even if you're right. Even if you're right. But some of us, part of the battle is, I will argue with you until I win the argument. The angel said, he's lying. It's not true, Abu Bakr. He's lying. It's not true. As long as you know that Allah knows that the truth is with you. The truth is with you. Don't argue with people just for the sake of arguing. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us of the people of good akhlaq and make us of those people who don't have to win the battles, especially with our wives. Especially with our wives. I saw a sign. And I was going to buy the sign, but I said, nah, I don't want to do that. The sign was talking about directions. The sign said, men to the left. Go to the left. Men to the left, because women are always right. I was going to buy that sign, but I didn't my wife have no ideas. Because no woman is always right. Men to the left. But I get the point. There are those people who, no matter what, I'm right. What's today? Today is Saturday. Man, today is Friday. Today is Saturday. Today is Friday. Wallahi, today is Saturday. You show him Friday. He said, oh, I'm talking about Friday in Nigeria. It's Friday in Africa. It's Friday in Mecca, Medina. Because he's never wrong. She's never wrong. Leave off arguing and disengage.